Viva Las Vegas, this is Sin City Mad Baker from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and today I'm going to show you how to make a fabulous Cameo mold. It's a mold of 2 little lovebirds, and it's just in time for Valentine's Day. Some of the tools that you'll need are the Wilton Wedding Showers mold, and I'll be using a large lovebird motif. You'll need 2 cutters. One is a serrated biscuit cutter, and then there is a straight cutter, and it's about 1/4 inch smaller than the larger biscuit cutter. Also, you'll need a paintbrush, a small fondant roller, and a little bit of water to adhere your fondant pieces together. So give me just a second. I'll move the camera so you can see my hands. I've already started by cutting out my circles. I have the larger circle, which is a serrated one, in pink. I'm just going to put a little bit of water to adhere my fondant circles together. And I'm going to put the circle cut with the straight cutter on top. And you want to roll it relatively thin so that it's not too thick. And then we're going to start with filling the mold. Now, I didn't put cornstarch or powdered sugar or any type of oil inside of the mold. You should be fine with any type of fondant. It shouldn't stick at all. So I have 2 colors of fondant. I'm using pink and white, but you can use any color that you want to use. Now, the key thing with the mold is you want to make sure that you get all of your color inside of the mold smoothly so that you don't see cracks. I'm going to start by filling the lovebirds with a white fondant. And you want to take just enough to fill the little lovebird cutout. You don't want it to overlap so that it bleeds into the heart that surrounds the lovebirds. So I'm just going to press that into the mold, and you can even use a little extra piece if you need that. Just make sure that you push it together so that you can't see the seam. So I have my first lovebird complete. Working on the second one here. And this is just a really nice cameo, as I call it. You can put it on a cake. It'd be really nice on a Valentine's Day wedding cake, on cupcakes. You can get creative with it. And then the second step, let me just check and make sure. You can look at your mold and see where your fondant has overlapped. I just have a few little pieces that need to be pushed into the mold, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So right now you can see the white fondant inside of the mold, and this is how it looks from the back side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to make sure you don't see chunks of fondant sticking out of the little mold. So next we're going to add our second color, which I chose as a pink for the hearts. So you just take enough to squeeze into the mold. You don't want it to overlap once again. And it's critical that you don't put too much in because you don't want it to be too thick so that it doesn't stick to the circles. So we're just going to put just what we need and press it down in there as best we can, making it as flat as possible. And make sure you cover the little lovebird tails too, because that's how you're going to be able to pull the fondant out of the mold. Okay, and we're going to check the front of the mold and make sure we don't have any fondant extending beyond the mold. Make sure we don't have any cracks. Now normally I would probably let this sit for a few minutes so that it hardens up a little bit, but I don't have the luxury of that doing the demo. And you can even see where some of my fondant bled over a little bit. But work with it and you can perfect a method that works best for you. So let me try to remove the fondant from the mold. And again, making it as flat as possible because you're going to glue this on to your circles. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch the fondant out of the mold. And as you can see, it just stuck to the back. It didn't really affect the heart. You just want to shape it with your fingers. You know, make sure you don't have any lumps or anything sticking up. There we go. There's our heart. And I can press it down a little bit more on the back. But this is what it looks like before I attach it to the circles. Okay, looks pretty good. Oh, I do have a little crack, but I'm making this video really quickly, so normally I would take a little more time. So I'm going to take a little bit of water and put it on the circle. Not too much. You don't want it to be too wet here. And I'm going to attach the heart. And just touch up the center of the heart with the edge of my paintbrush. And normally I would let this sit a little bit until it dries. And it's still kind of soft because the fondant hasn't hardened up. But this is what you end up with, this beautiful Cameo mold when you're done. And you can use any of the molds. Actually, the first one that I made is a little better. Looks nicer than the one that I just made on the fly. But I hope you can use this and let me know what you think. It's been the Sin City Mad Baker from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Have a good one. Bye-bye.